alongside Brianna Runnels, Morgan Fingal, Madison Bryant, Lily Feltz, Ava Bell, and Danielle Mahaffey. Hayward, the senior, is ready to get us underway in Knoxville. Friday night on Rocky Top is underway, and the first swing of the contest for Baylor is returned by the Lady Vols. There is Presley. Morgan Fingal cross court, but it sails wide, and Baylor has the first point of the night. Baylor 1-1 this season. They played a couple of top 10 opponents last week in Madison, Wisconsin. A season opening win over number 7 Minnesota in 4 sets, but then turned around and fell to the number 2 team of the nation in the Wisconsin Badgers. And now coming to Knoxville at an even 500 in this young season. There is Brianna Runnels, the grad transfer from Colorado State, with a powerful first point for the Lady Vols. Runnels now on the service line, a 4-time all-conference selection in the Mountain West for Colorado State. Kept alive. Lily Feltz, the Knoxville native, powers it through the Baylor defense. Feltz from the outside with power. Lily Feltz, coming off of an all-SEC campaign a season ago, was named to the all-tournament team in the Tennessee Classic last weekend. Already has a double-double this year. This time trapped in the net, and it's Baylor coming up with a stifling point. Lauren Harrison was there in the net. Feltz, perfect so far tonight. She's 3 for 3. And Tennessee leads by 2. The Lady Vols 3-0 this season. They defeated Texas Tech, ETSU, and North Carolina State here at home last weekend. Now a perfect 25-0 since 2015 in home tournaments. As Yassiana Presley goes down the line and drives it in. Presley, the reigning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, the 20th weekly honor of her Baylor career. That is the most in conference history, one of the most decorated in Big 12 history, with a pancake save there. Sets up Harrison, but it's too wide. And the Lady Vols come away with the point. Morgan Fingal, the junior from Fairfax, Virginia, ready to serve it away, leading 5-3 here early. Harrison with the hammer. For Baylor and head coach Ryan McGuire, now in his 7th season, the aspirations are high. They're looking to get to the national championship and bring home the title. And McGuire says this could be the deepest team that he has had so far in his 7 years. Feltz tools it off the blockers. And Tennessee comes away with a point. A double hit by Presley. And Tennessee holds on to its 2-point lead. Lily Feltz to serve for the first time tonight, the senior, the Knoxville native. There is Avery Skinner. with her first kill of the contest. Skinner, a unanimous preseason All Big 12 selection. The transfer from Kentucky, coming off of a national title with the Wildcats a year ago. Already making a big presence for this Baylor team this season. Comes up with the block there. Schreiber, deep serve. Fingal, off speed. Morgan Fingal, the lefty, tossing in a changeup. Finds an opening in the floor. Tennessee's lead is 1. Gianna Pelizan fresh into the contest. Will serve for the Lady Vols. This time Skinner blocked in the net. Other side for Baylor. Bears looking for a tip in the net, but it was out of bounds. Tennessee picks up the point. Pinballed in the net. Hit twice. But the Lady Vols called for being in the net, so Baylor picks up the point. And it is a 1-point contest here early in set 1. Best 3 out of 5. Big time swing there from Runnels. Baylor recovers, and Skinner knocks it through the front row. Skinner at Kentucky last season, a first-team All-American, All-Region, and All-SEC. No stranger to the Lady Vols. This time Runnels blocked again. It's Presley. Four-time first-team All-Big 12 selection. And the block in the net for Baylor. Bears in front, 9-8. Tennessee looking to respond, and it does. Ava Bell out of the middle. The senior from Austin, Texas, has her first kill of the contest. Back to Hayward on the serve. Baylor comes away with the point as Avery Skinner slams it down the line off the arms of Maddie Bryant. Cross-court serve handled by Feltz. Runnels rises. Drives it home for the Lady Vols. 10 apiece here in set 1. Back set to Presley. It is blocked but out of bounds, and Baylor comes away with the point. First ace of the night. And it's Bree Coleman, the senior from Valencia, California, giving Baylor an early 2-point advantage. Lady Vols take a timeout. Baylor in front 12-10 here. Welcome back to Thompson Bowling Arena in set 1 between Baylor and Tennessee. The Bears out to a 2-point advantage, leading 12-10. in what has been a back-and-forth contest thus far. Strong start for the Bears. Hitting at a 3:57 clip to open things up. And a big block there. Marika Vandermark out of the middle for Baylor to give the Bears their biggest lead so far tonight. Feltz tools it off the front row, and the Lady Vols stop the bleeding. Tennessee under Eve Rackham-Watt, now in her 4th season at the helm of the Lady Vols, says this might be the deepest roster she's had so far, returning over 6 starters from a year ago, in which the Lady Vols finished 12-8 in a shortened COVID season, 5th in the SEC, looking to improve upon that mark here in 2021. Presley picks up the point for Baylor and will serve for the Bears. The 5th-year senior from Cypress, Texas, has done nothing but rack up accolades in her time in Waco. Kept alive by the Lady Vols, pushed over by Feltz. Harrison from the back row. Feltz, cross-court kill in the corner. Five kills for Lily Feltz here early. Fingal with an ace for Tennessee. Team high 5th ace of the season for Morgan Fingal, and it's back to a 1-point contest. Off-speed serve there. Pushed over by Baylor, pinballed in the net. Feltz. It's kept alive on a pancake save by Presley. But the whistle came in and said that it touched the floor. So the Lady Vols do pick up the point as Ryan McGuire tries to plead his case. But we're tied at 14. McGuire still pleading his case. And now the Tennessee coaching staff looking for an explanation. And so they will challenge the call that it was a Tennessee point. Tied at 14 here early in set number 1. Lily Feltz leading the way for the Lady Vols. She's 6 of 10. 6 kills here early. An ace from Morgan Fingal. For Baylor, a couple of Bears with 3 kills apiece, Avery Skinner and Yassiana Presley. A pod here in Knoxville this weekend. The Pitt Panthers also in town. They're the number 7 team of the nation. We'll play Baylor here tomorrow afternoon and then Tennessee on Sunday in what is a top 10 weekend on Rocky Top. The Tennessee Athletic Department looking to keep things rolling as the Josh Heupel era began last night just down the road in Neyland Stadium. 38-6 win over Bowling Green. And now the Lady Vols looking to pull off a big-time upset here inside Thompson Bowling Arena tonight. They're still checking the review. As it stands, we're tied at 14, but should it be overturned, Baylor would take a 15-13 lead. Both teams scheduling tough opponents to begin their season. Tennessee, a couple of top 10 opponents this weekend in Baylor and Pitt. And for the Bears, 5 of their first 6 matches here in 2021 against teams that were in the preseason top 10. They've already played a pair in Minnesota and Wisconsin last weekend. In the middle of things against Tennessee right now, which the Lady Vols on the outside looking in right now in the AVCA polls. Receiving votes, just not enough to crack inside the top 25. And then Baylor will take on Pitt before heading to Florida next weekend for a couple of matches against the number 6 Gators in Gainesville. The call is confirmed, so we're tied at 14 here in set 1 as Morgan Fingal is ready on the service line. Vandermark picks up the point for Baylor. The senior from the Netherlands. The big swing off the left arm. Feltz has been the hot hand tonight for Tennessee. There's Skinner, and that is right off of Lily Feltz, kept alive by the Lady Vols. This time, Vandermark will not be stopped. Out of bounds, and Baylor now leads by 3. Overpass, pinballed in the net. Late effort by Presley. Fingal is blocked by the Baylor front row. Skinner and Vandermark in on the action for the Bears. 5th block of the contest for Baylor, and they lead by 4. Second and final timeout of the set for Tennessee. Lady Vols looking to bring some momentum. Baylor on a 4-0 run, and the Bears lead at 18-14 here in set 1. Lauren Briseño, the freshman out of San Antonio, early enrolled and is now getting some playing time here in the fall for the Bears. Will serve out of the break. Deep serve. Feltz. Too wide that time. And it's a 5th consecutive Baylor point. They lead at 19-14. Received by Feltz. She'll get it right back. No, it was Runnels. Skinner off the fingertips. Good effort from Danielle Mahaffey. Ricochets out of bounds off of Baylor, and Tennessee stops the 5-0 Baylor run. Deep serve from Feltz. And a couple of volleyballs too deep. Chanel Bramschreiber gives it back to the Lady Vols. Pelazon, the serving specialist, back in for the Lady Vols. Back set. And it falls in for Baylor. Off speed, handled by Skinner. Presley. Fingal there. Runnels with the offhand. And it falls in for the Bears. Ava Bell nearly had it out of the middle. Ricocheted off the top of the tape. And Baylor's lead is the largest it's had tonight, 22-16. Short serve from Sedgwick. An overpass that is powered through by Skinner. Green light special there for the All-American, and it's a 7-point Baylor lead. Fingal from the back row. Coleman and Sedgwick there for the Bears. 6 blocks here in the first set for Baylor. And it is set point for the Baylor Bears. The Bears on another 4-0 scoring run. Their largest lead of the contest. We were tied at 14, and Baylor has gone on a 10-2 run since. As Morgan Fingal gets tended on by the training staff. Good to go. Hannah Sedgwick, the senior from Des Moines, Iowa, serving for the set. Short serve. Runnels. Nicole Shanahan there in the middle. Picks up the block for the Lady Vols. Cross-court serve from Hayward. Presley powers it home for the set point. And Baylor takes set number 1, 25-17. The Bears close the first set on an 11-3 scoring run. We'll be back with set 2 from Thompson Bowling Arena. Still plenty of volleyball left as the Lady Vols take on number 9 Baylor. Baylor victorious in set 1, 25-17. And the Bears lead 1-0 in this best 3 out of 5. Welcome back to Knoxville. Mayan Patel and the rest of our great SEC Network Plus crew here with you. Grateful to have you spending your Friday night with us here on Rocky Top. And a big glaring difference in the scorebook. Baylor 13 of 15 on attempts in the first set. The Bears hitting over 40% compared to just 6% for Tennessee. .057 attack percentage for the Lady Vols. They will look to right the ship here in set number 2. A big set here for Tennessee in the Eve Rackham-Watt era, now the 4th season of it. Tennessee is 41-4 when winning set number 2. Presley pinned in the net, and the Lady Vols have the first point of the set. Nicole Shanahan, the grad transfer, in the net for the Lady Vols. Back set to Skinner, bounces it off the front row. Fingal off speed. Presley's turn. Feltz is there. Fingal in the net, it's kept alive. And a whistle comes in, net violation on Baylor. Back-to-back points for Tennessee here to begin this second set. Natalie Hayward, the MVP of the Tennessee Classic last weekend. Reigning SEC Setter of the Week. And an easy kill there for Nicole Shanahan. Takes care of the overpass, and Shanahan has her second kill of the night. Piercing serve there from Hayward. And Presley with the power right back. Fifth kill of the night for Yassiana Presley, and she's halfway to her third double-double in as many games this season. Fingal. Another net violation on Baylor. Lady Vols in front 4-1. Skinner from the back row. Fingal with the off speed. Skinner again, powers it through the middle. Fingal down the line, off the top of the net and in. Ricocheted outside the pins in the net. And so Baylor does come away with a point, and it's 4-3. All square here in set two. A 4-1 run for the Bears, and we're tied at 4. The service error puts the Lady Vols back in front. Nicole Shanahan, the grad transfer from Wisconsin, using her final year of eligibility here in Knoxville. Actually has some history against this Baylor team. As Presley knocks it in for the Bears. Shanahan was a member of that 2019 Wisconsin squad that took down Baylor in the national semifinals. Feltz. With her game-high 7th kill. Another ace for Morgan Fingal. It's her second of the contest, 6th of the year. And Tennessee's lead is 2. Hayward knocks it over, just outside the lines. Back to a 1-point game here in the second set. Feltz, the fingertips. And she's there on the block. Second block of the game for Tennessee. Vandermark with a big-time swing there for Baylor. Head coach Ryan McGuire has said that the hardest part of this season could very well be managing such a deep and talented roster and trying to get everybody looks. As Morgan Fingal makes the Tennessee lead 2. Maddie Bryant, the junior libero, jousted for in the net, and the Bears win the duel. There's Hannah Sedgwick. And a strong serving finish to the end of set 1. Hayward. Unable to connect, and we're tied at 9. Short serve, Feltz receives it. Runnels tucks it into the corner. Skinner has it blocked in the net. And Tennessee comes up with the point. Brianna Runnels and Nicole Shanahan there for the Lady Vols. Third block of the night for Tennessee, and the lead back to 2. Avery Skinner back on the service line for Baylor, using her final year of eligibility in Waco. Played 4 years at Kentucky, capping off her run as a Wildcat with a national championship earlier this year in what was a combination 2020-2021 season. And the Texas native returning to her home state to round out her NCAA eligibility. One of the longer rallies of the night. Fingal puts it into it. Right off of the front row, and Tennessee leads 12-10. Big block for the Lady Vols. Shanahan making her presence known in the middle. Her third block of the night. Tipped at the net. Lauren Harrison credited with the kill for Baylor. Back set, Feltz. This time the block will fall out of bounds for the Lady Vols. Another kill there for Harrison. Off the tape, Feltz on a dime. Cross-court kill right over the power tee, and Tennessee is back in front by a pair. Good crowd here in the lower bowl at Thompson Bowling Arena, and they are starting to get loud here in Knoxville. Fingal looking for the corner. Harrison converts for Baylor. Harrison with Baylor's last 3 points, and it's once again a one-point contest. Fingal too deep. We are tied at 14. Yassiana Presley on the service line. Feltz cross court again. Ramschreiber was there. Harrison. Too strong. Tennessee leads by 1. 15-14, Lady Vols in front here in set 2, trailing 1-0. A back-and-forth contest between the Baylor Bears and the Lady Vols of Tennessee. We'll be back on the other side of the break. We'll see if Tennessee can continue its second set momentum. Tennessee looking to even the match here in the second set. Fingal to serve out of the break in what has been a back-and-forth set number 2. Skinner receives the serve. Vandermark blocked in the net, and it's kept alive and knocked out of bounds. Danielle Mahaffey and Lily Feltz in the net there for the Lady Vols. Deep serve from Fingal. Harrison is blocked in the net. Mahaffey all over it in the middle. Three-point Tennessee lead. Harrison off the fingertips. Feltz down the line. Skinner is there. Harrison has been the hot hand in set 2. Fifth kill of the game for Lauren Harrison, and it's a 2-point contest, not for long. Lead back to 3. Natalie Hayward finds an opening. Presley off of the back row. Nice touch. Morgan Fink. Lady Vols lead 19-16 here in the second set. Welcome back to Knoxville. Third all-time meeting between Baylor and Tennessee. Last meeting was back in 2019 in Waco. Before that, hadn't played since 2005. Both teams victorious on their home court. So the all-time series tied at 1 apiece. We'll see who gets the edge here tonight. Baylor ahead 1-0. But the Lady Vols closing in on the 20 mark here in set 2. Baylor picks up the first point out of the break. And the lead slimmed to 2 for Tennessee. Runnels just outside the lines. He's looking for a corner kill. Fingal with the off speed again. This time it's kept alive. Skinner. Back set. And it's kept alive. Big swing there from Shanahan. She'll try again. Sedgwick is there again. Presley can't convert. Hayward was there. Longest rally of the night. And it stays alive. Feltz wins the rally for the Lady Vols. What a point for Tennessee. Capped off with a back row kill from Lily Feltz. Her 9th of the game, and Tennessee leads 20-18. Presley with the answer for Baylor. Tennessee whistled for being in the net. So we are tied at 20. The Lady Vols will take a timeout. Tied at 20 here in set 2. Home stretch of the second set when we return to Thompson Bowling. Tied at 20, Tennessee and number 9 Baylor down the home stretch here in the second set. Skinner on the service line for the Bears out of the break. Off the tape, Runnels. Sedgwick was there. But a net violation on the Bears. Presley in the net. So Tennessee leads 21-20. Deep serve from Runnels. Presley with a powerful swing. Feltz cross court. Dug out by the Bears. And Tennessee picks up the point. Tennessee leads 21-22. Lily Feltz with a game-high 10th kill, getting her into double figures for the 4th time this season. Now Tennessee looking to close out the set. Presley blocked in the net. Baylor picks up the point. Tied at 22. Felts over the front row. Big point there for Lily Felts and the Lady Vols. As Tennessee inches back out in front. First to 25, must win by 2. Bryant keeps it alive. Harrison, too deep. And it's set point Tennessee. Baylor may challenge it, and the Bears will, saying it was tipped in the net. And after a review, it's confirmed. Point Tennessee. Morgan Fingal serving for the set. Crowd on its feet. And it sails just deep. Still set point for the Lady Vols. Tennessee takes set 2. 12th kill of the night for Lily Felts, and it's the clincher in the second set. 25-23, Tennessee takes set 2, and we are all tied at 1 set apiece. An electric Friday night on Rocky Top, and we are just getting started. 1 set apiece between Tennessee and number 9 Baylor as we welcome you back inside Thompson Bowling Arena for this Friday night showdown between the Big 12 and the SEC. Tennessee 25-23 winners in set 2. And the third set begins with an ace for Maddie Bryant, the junior out of Anderson, South Carolina. Third ace of the night for the Lady Vols. Vandermark on the second effort, and it's not enough. An early 2-0 lead for Tennessee. Lily Felts leading the way as she has done in all of her years here in Knoxville. 12 kills so far in the contest. Skinner puts Baylor on the board here in the third set. Runnels tucks it into the corner. Good vision there from Brianna Runnels as she notches her 5th kill of the night. Presley from the back row, handled by Hayward. Now Fingal. Sails wide. Both of Baylor's matches this season have gone 4 sets. They were on the winning end of the season opener against Minnesota, and now look to bounce back after losing 3-1 against number 2 Wisconsin last weekend. Easy point there for Kara McGee, her first of the night. She takes care of the overpass and ties us at 3. Nifty move there from Runnels. Side swipes it across the court and drops it in for the Tennessee point. Deep serve. Presley, cross court. '11th kill of the night for Yassiana Presley. Ace, Avery Skinner, as that one hugged the line. Team high 3rd ace of this 2021 campaign. Fingal to Runnels. Tipped in the net. We're tied at 5. Paula Laborda in to serve, the redshirt sophomore from San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Georgia Tech transfer into the contest for the Lady Vols. Off the tape there, and McGee powers it home for Baylor. Second kill for Kara McGee, and Baylor is back in front 6-5. Fingal finds an opening. Harrison is kept alive by Runnels. Feltz in the net. Wins the battle. Tipped out by the Bears. Presley rises and attacks. Lady Vols keep it alive. Off speed again from Fingal. Now Harrison blocked in the net. Danielle Mahaffey. Her second block of the night. And it's a 2-point Tennessee lead. Strong serve from Fingal. Keeps it alive. Here's Presley. Off speed and in. A double-double for Yassiana Presley, her third in as many matches this year, the 30th of her career. Now 12 kills to go along with her 10 digs tonight. Fingal off the back row, handled by Skinner. Harrison. Dumped over. That's Sedgwick. Feltz with the last second effort for the Lady Vols. Presley. It's kept alive. Fingal and Runnels on the back row. And Baylor wins the rally despite some valiant efforts from the Lady Vols. 8 apiece here in the third set. Fingal from the back row. That's 8 kills for Morgan Fingal, and Tennessee's lead is 1. Presley off the front row. Fingal again, and it ricochets through. Back-to-back kills for Fingal. Here's Runnels. And it's knocked out of bounds. Three-point cushion for Tennessee. Presley off the pins. And it drops in for the Bears. She powered it just inside the candy cane pins. That stops a 3-0 Tennessee run and makes it a 2-point contest once again. Baylor won set 1, 25-17, and then Tennessee taking a back-and-forth set 2, 25-23. We are tied at 1 set apiece. Lady Vols ahead 11-9 here in the third set. Deep serve from Briseño. About a volleyball too deep. Skinner down the line. Fingal is there. Now to Runnels. Our effort sails out. And gets Baylor to double digits. Fourth service error of the game for Baylor. Lead back to 3. Skinner blocked in the net. Bears keep it alive. Back set, Fingal, cross court. It's a double-double for Morgan Fingal. Her 10th kill of the night opens a 4-point cushion for Tennessee. Largest Lady Vol lead of tonight, and that takes us to the media timeout. Tennessee leads by 5, 15-10, looking to close out set number 3. Largest lead of the night for Tennessee. The Lady Vols in front by 5. After the media timeout here in set 3, tied at 1 set apiece. Hayward out of the break. Presley. And good recovery by Tennessee, keeps it alive, but McGee capitalizes. And now the play whistle dead. Was signaled that Baylor had the point, but it stayed alive for the Lady Vols, and the two teams played out the rally for a couple more passes, but we'll see if they take a look at it. The Lady Vols do challenge that the ball was down. Tough to see from our vantage point whether it caught a little bit of the hardwood before being hoisted back into the air, but right now it's a 4-point contest. Baylor stopping a 3-0 Tennessee run. Lady Vols have had some big-time momentum here in this third set. Morgan Fingal has been big on the attack for Tennessee. 10 kills and now a new career-high 15 digs for the junior out of Fairfax, Virginia. Previous career high was 13 digs, and she's gotten that and then some. Third review of the night, and so far none of them have been overturned. All confirmed, and the point belongs to Baylor. It's 15-11. First time tonight we'll see Callie Williams, the former Lady Vol. She's on the service line for Baylor. The Waco native finishing out her eligibility in her own backyard, and Baylor picks up the point. Williams, the redshirt senior, was here at Tennessee from 2017 through the 2018 season, was a part of that last Tennessee team to make the NCAA tournament in 2018. Her father, Jason Williams, the assistant coach for Baylor in his 7th year with the Bears. Shanahan out of the middle. Back set to Skinner. And a tough play, tight to the tape there for the Lady Vols. Baylor picks up the point, closes the gap to 3. Feltz, the fingertips. Out of Presley. Powers it through the Lady Vols. Baylor fed a couple of their strong hitters early in the contest, but lately they have been looking to get the ball to Yassiana Presley, and that is why. Match high, 14 kills, and it forces a Tennessee tie. Two-point game coming out of the break. Fingal blocked in the net. McGee and Presley there for the Bears. Now it's just a one-point game here in set three. Tied at one set apiece. Hayward sets up Fingal. Skinner there. Now Presley. Fingal. Try again. Too deep. And we're tied at 16. Received by Runnels. She'll get it back. Just to have it knocked down. Baylor in front by one here in the third set. The Bears lead at 17-16. Ripped off 3 points in a row to force another Tennessee timeout. Overall at a 5-0 scoring run. And it'll end there. Laborda back in the game to serve. Presley. Knocked over by Fingal. Just outside the lines. Feltz. Presley will try again, has it blocked. Mahaffey out of the middle. Deadlocks us at 18. Baylor out of rotation. And the Lady Vols pick up the point. The officials all over it. And a quick whistle. Now the Bears will substitute as Harrison comes in for Elise McGee, the younger of the McGee sisters on the roster. Tennessee back in front late here in set 3, tied at 1 set apiece. Fingal down the line, received by Skinner. Presley into the back row. Now overpass, jousted for in the net. And Tennessee called for being in the net. The net violation ties us at 19. Mahaffey, pancake save by Skinner. Hayward to Fingal, who finds some room. th kill of the night for Morgan Fingal, and Tennessee leads by 1. Harrison. Hayward is there. Ryan McGuire takes a timeout for Baylor. Tennessee leads by 2. Late here in set number 3, the Lady Vols looking to close it out and take a 2-1 lead. Lead here late in set 3 as Lily Felt serves it away for the Lady Vols. Good serve. Harrison converts for the Bears. 6th kill of the game for Lauren Harrison, the redshirt junior from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Harrison over the line. Fifth service error of the game for Baylor. 2-point Tennessee lead. Presley through the middle, overpass. Feltz tools it up the front row. Deep serve from Bryant. Two-point game. Tennessee leads 23-21. Just out of bounds there for Runnels. And it's a one-point game. Runnels for the front row. Presley from the back row. Out of bounds, and it's set point, Tennessee. Crowd on its feet in Thompson Bowling. Hayward looking to close out the set. Skinner keeps Baylor in it. Set three belongs to Tennessee. Shanahan with the clinching kill, and it's back-to-back set wins for the Lady Vols. They're one away from pulling off the upset. 25-23 for the. Grateful to have you along for what has been a thriller so far. Still a long way from crowning a champ tonight. Baylor will serve to begin set 4. Runnels kept alive by Bram Schreiber, and it leads to a precise point from Yassiana Presley. For game-high 15th kill. And Baylor takes the first point of set 4. Timeout call. We'll see if we get another challenge. The Lady Vols challenging, see if there was a net violation perhaps. 4th challenge of the night. So far the first 3 have each remained as they were called on the floor. Big weekend here in Knoxville. Tennessee and Baylor tonight. Tomorrow afternoon will feature what might be the game of the week in college volleyball. Number 9 Baylor, number 7 Pitt here at Thompson Bowling Arena tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And then Tennessee will get the Panthers for a Sunday matinee, a 1 o'clock first serve. What is another pod weekend have become common in college volleyball. Baylor was in a pod last weekend up in Madison, Wisconsin. 3 teams able to meet and play round robin to get a couple games in. So the call does stand. No net violation. It's 1-0 Baylor here in set 4. Phelps receives the serve. Shanahan. Lynch set 3 for the Lady Vols. Nothing doing there. And Skinner knocks it through for Baylor. For the Bears, the aspirations are high this season. They've made the NCAA tournament in each of the last 5 years and have had 5 consecutive 20-plus win seasons, but this is the year that the Bears are looking to make maybe their deepest run in what is a loaded roster. That one sails off the Bears and out of bounds. Tennessee picks up the point. For Ryan McGuire and the Baylor Bears, he said the goal is to be good when they start, but great when they finish. Will be a tough finish here. Lady Vols looking to lock in what could be one of the biggest wins in the Eve Rackham-Watt era here at Tennessee. Pinballed in the net. Runnels will try again. It lands out of bounds as a Baylor point. Lady Vols trying to plead that it was tipped in the net. And they will challenge it. So the second early challenge here in set 4. For the Lady Vols, they're looking to get back to the postseason for the first time since 2018. Eve Rackham-Watt came in and inherited the program back in the 2018 season when they finished second in the SEC and made it to. Taking a long look at the challenge. Must be indisputable evidence that it was touched at the net. And here comes the call. The call stands for the 4th time tonight. No review has been overturned. Baylor's lead is 2 in the early stages of the 4th set. Williams on the service line for the Bears. Runnels. Gets her to double figures. And a double-double. Brianna Runnels with her 3rd double-double of the season. Now 10 kills to go along with her 10 digs. And that is the response from Baylor. Kara McGee out of the middle. Feltz. Now Presley rides the tape and lands out of bounds. Now Baylor calling for a touch at the net. One-point game as the officials will convene. And the call is overturned. Was tipped by the Lady Vols and the net. Baylor takes the point. Feltz knocks it off of the blockers. That's Lily Feltz' 15th kill of the night. Just 4 off of her career mark. Looks like they are double checking everything at the scoring table, making sure the Lady Vols are in rotation as Laborda checks back into the game. Presley down the line with power. Briseño serving with a 3-point lead. Received by Feltz. Mahaffey once again from the middle. Closes the gap to 2. Fingal down the line. Presley. Mahaffey again, but kept alive by Bramschreiber. Hayward trying to dump it over, and it's Mahaffey who cleans it up. No call for being over the net. And so the point is awarded to Baylor. And the Bears lead 8-4. Runnels. And it is blocked by Vandermark. Marika Vandermark. The senior out of the middle for Baylor makes it a 5-point Bear cushion. Timeout, Tennessee. Back to action. The Baylor lead is 5 here in the fourth set. Tennessee leads 2-1 as the Bears pick up the first point out of the break. It's a 4-0 Baylor run and a 6-point cushion. Baylor 1-1, then back-to-back set victories for the Lady Vols. Now looking to climb back out of a hole here in set 4. Skinner over the top. Largest lead of the night for either side. It's a 7-point Baylor advantage. Fingal stops the bleeding. The lead back to 7 for Baylor. Fingal from the back row. Schreiber digs it out. Skinner has it blocked. Presley is there. Runnels with the offhand. Off-speed attack. And it finds the hardwood as Yassiana Presley. It's her 18th kill of the contest. Tennessee takes a timeout. Lady Vols trail by 8 here in set 4. Baylor riding the momentum, looking to send us a set. Chanel Bramschreiber serving with an 8-point lead for Baylor here in the fourth set. First swing out of the break, Fingal. Skinner over the top. Mahaffey tucks it into the corner. Elevating off of the left leg and slamming it home with her right arm. A cross-court corner kill for Danielle Mahaffey. Strong serve from Bryant. But Presley drops it in just in front of the line. Reynolds converts for the Lady Vols. Big swing from McGee, but the Lady Vols are there. Now Elise McGee. Feltz has it in the back row. Skinner knocks it in off of the blockers. Tangled in the top of the tape. Feltz off the fingertips. A high set. And a double hit by the Bears. Tennessee starting to close the gap, lead down to 6. Presley picks up her 20th kill of the night. The reigning Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, making a strong case for going back-to-back. There's a good answer by the Lady Vols. Short serve from Laborda. Elise McGee off the top of the tape. Now Fingal looking cross court. Presley. Feltz. McGee will try again. High set. And a double hit. Said Hayward did not catch it cleanly. 7-point Baylor lead, 17-10. The Bears in front. Fingal tied up in the net. Will come away with the point. So Baker's dozen, 13 kills for Morgan Fingal. Cross-court serve, misplayed. Great save by the Bears to keep it alive. Mahaffey stays hot from the right side. Danielle Mahaffey. With her 5th kill of the night, and it's a 5-point game here in the 4th set. Dumped over. Back set to Vandermark. Kept alive by the Lady Vols. Great effort from Bryant and Feltz. Hayward pushes it through. The rally's still alive. Mahaffey, big swing, and Baylor comes away with the point. The Bears back in front by 6. Short serve from Presley. Feltz. Too strong on the attack, but it was tipped at the net. Just caught the fingertips. And Lily Feltz has her 16th kill of the night. The Lady Vols haven't really been able to inch inside a 5-point deficit as of late. We'll see if they can do it here. No chance. Oh, the fastball piercing down from Skinner. Well-executed point by the Bears, and their lead is back to 6. 19-13 here in the late stages of set 4. Tennessee leads 2-1. Fingal from the back row. Skinner will try again. Runnels, cross court. Tucks it in front of the power tee. And it's back to 5. Skinner knocks it in off the arms of the Tennessee front row. And it gets Baylor to the 20 mark. Skinner with the offhand. Back set, Shanahan. Knocked over by Baylor. Runnels off the front row. It's a double-double for Brianna Runnels. Her 3rd of the year. Three Lady Vols with double-doubles tonight. Lily Feltz, Morgan Fingal, and now Brianna Runnels. Off the tape and out of bounds. Baylor's lead is 6. 21-15 here in set 4. Runnels blocked by Presley. Fifth block of the night for Yassiana Presley. High short serve. Fingal out of the middle. Reactionary save by Skinner. Back set to Fingal. Kept alive by Shanahan. Now Runnels has it blocked and knocked out of bounds. A good defensive stance there by the Bears. And their lead is back to 8. Runnels pinballed in the net. Elise McGee makes it set point for the Bears. The true freshman out of San Antonio with her first kill of the night. And Baylor's a point away from sending us to a fifth set. Not so fast. Runnels giving the Lady Vols some late life. And it's the elder of the two McGees, Kara McGee, with the clinching point for Baylor. And we are headed to a winner-take-all fifth set. Baylor cruises to a set 4 victory, 25-16, and we are tied at 2 apiece heading into set number 5. Match on the line will decide a winner. Set 5 when we return to Knoxville. We roll on into set number 5 here between number 9 Baylor and Tennessee as we welcome you back to Thompson Bowling Arena. We're ready to put a bow on what has been a thrilling match to kick off this weekend in Knoxville. Baylor cruising to a set 4 win, 25-16. The Bears won sets 1 and 4. Lady Vols with a couple of set victories in there in sets 2 and 3. And now we head to a winner-take-all, set number 5. First to 15 points must win by 2. And the first point of the fifth set belongs to Baylor. First time this season either team has been forced to 5 sets. The Lady Vols hadn't played more than 3 coming into tonight. Baylor had both of his matches and in 4 sets. As Nicole Shanahan drives home the equalizer. Skinner rises and drives it through for Baylor. Right off the Laborda. Baylor leads 2-1 here early in the fifth set. Feltz looking for the corner, couldn't get it. Now Presley into the middle. 21 kills, a season high for Yassiana Presley. Fingal picks up the point for Tennessee. Rattles out off of the Bears. Free ball in the net. Mahaffey takes advantage, and we're tied at 3. Service error puts Baylor back in front. Bears lead by 1. And it's an ace for Bree Coleman. Splits the back row. And Baylor's lead is 2. Third ace of the night for the Bears. And Feltz can't get it to fall. Presley, try. Vandermark off the mark on that one. Second service error of the set for Tennessee. Deep serve from Briseño. Runnels. We'll try again. Misplayed by Baylor, but no problem for Presley. Matches the jersey number, 22 kills tonight for the fifth-year senior. Runnels rises, and it's knocked off of Presley. Gets it right back. Runnels will try again, and this time it falls. Now the Baylor bench starting to get loud. Skinner with the offhand. Runnels ties it at 7. 17 kills for Brianna Runnels, and we're tied at 7 in the 5th set. Jousted in the net, but kept alive. Skinner. Hayward is there. Fingal trying to push it over. Runnels again, and she gives Tennessee the lead. Eight-7 lead for the Lady Vols here in set 5. First to 15 wins it. Deep serve from Hayward. Back set to Fingal. Lands just out of bounds, and we are tied at 8. No, overturned. Net violation on Baylor. Originally signaled as a bare point. But now Tennessee's lead is 2. 9-7, Lady Vols in front. Presley with a big-time point for Baylor. Runnels has had the hot hand. "19 kills for Brianna Runnels, and Tennessee is 5 points away. Presley from the back row. Fingal cross court. Presley again off speed. And Baylor was over the net. Point Tennessee, and the Lady Vols lead by 3. Baylor takes a timeout. The crowd's starting to get loud in Knoxville. The Lady Vols 4 points away from knocking off number 9. Three-point Lady Vol lead here late in set 5. Skinner, first swing out of the break. Here's Lily Feltz with the off speed. Feltz. And it's blocked in the net. Kara McGee and Hannah Sedgwick there for the Bears. Back to a 2-point game. Now Tennessee will take a timeout. Lady Vols lead by 2, late in set number 5 with an upset on the line. We'll have the finish when we return to Thompson Bowling Arena. Rocky Top roaring over the loudspeakers in Knoxville. 11-9 here late in set 5. Tennessee leads number 9 Baylor as the Lady Vols look for one of the biggest wins in the Eve Rackham-Watt era. 4 points away. Three points away. 17th kill of the night for Lily Feltz, and the Lady Vols inch closer. Big answer from Kara McGee. Fingal finds a point for Tennessee. The lead back to 2 for Tennessee. Marie Coleman on the service line for Baylor. She's got 2 of Baylor's 3 aces tonight. One-point game as Tennessee will take its final timeout of the contest. 24 kills for Presley makes it a 1-point match late in set 5. Everyone on their feet at Thompson Bowling Arena. Down to the wire here late in set 5. Tennessee leads number 9 Baylor 13-12. Match point for the Lady Vols. Lily Feltz, the Knoxville native, grew up dreaming about going to Tennessee, serving for the match. And Baylor stays alive. Presley powers home her 25th kill of the night. Still match point for the Lady Vols. Runnels. Whistled out of bounds. And Tennessee takes down Baylor. The Bears will challenge this final call on the floor.